Mama, Mama, you know I love you. Ooh, you know I love you, Mama. Mama, you're the queen of my heart. Your love is like tears from the stars. Mama, I just want you to know. Loving you is like food to my soul.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Food to my soul. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Food to my soul. Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Mother's Day. Oh my, Mother's Day. Today I celebrate my mommy. I call my mother mommy, and she will always be my mommy. Even at 45, she is my mommy. How can I tell you about this woman? She is everything to me. The love I have for my mother is undescribable. Growing up, it was just me and my mother. I remember this little chant I think I heard it on the radio one day as a child cleaning on a Saturday. It went like this: I just me, my mother, struggling to the land with we too long, and I just me, my mother. I have no idea why that stuck with me, but that was us. It was just me and my mother, me and Esmeralda. Yes, her name is Esmeralda. It was just us. And I think looking back, the reason why we gelled so much because my mother had me, I think, relatively young. She was almost 20 when she had me, so she was learning. And everything she learned, she taught me. She didn't know she shouldn't tell a young girl, a baby, what she's thinking. I think she was just getting things out of her head. But I learned so much from my mom. It was just us. So it was just us together, everything, everywhere. It was just me and my mother. Me and mommy. Oh, mommy and I. We went everywhere. We did everything. But I learned more from her by just watching her. She didn't really have to say much. We were in tune. I would just watch her. I know what to do. My mom used to wear bracelets. And I would know whenever my mom is near because I would hear the bracelets jingle on her arms. And I would know mommy is near and a smile would be on my face. Unless I was doing something I wasn't supposed to do. Then, your heart skip a beat because you don't want her to catch you. But it was just amazing growing up with my mom. My mom taught me how to manage money. Oh my God. She didn't have much, so of course, she told me everything. She told me what she had, what was our expenses. Yes, I was 5. I still learn what was the bills, what we had for groceries. Soon I started doing the grocery bills and I would go shopping and we would, make it work. I told you I was a professional dishwasher at 7, just me and my mom. She cook, I wash. But mommy, I love my mom so much. She always had my back. I never needed anything because my mom always got me. I never had to worry about anything. I feared nothing because my mother had my back. There was nothing and no one could touch me in this world because my mother had my back. Even when she left, my mother had my back. I knew why she left. I knew what she was doing. I knew the reason for every decision she made because she told me. I never had to guess. No one had to tell me what my mother was thinking. My mother told me what she was thinking. And I would always appreciate her for that. Because of the way she raised me, I was never in the dark about anything. And today we are closer than ever. My mom lives in New York, but we talk at least twice a day. Yes, she is my stalker, and I am her stalker. She's my best friend. I love my mom. And today and every day, I salute you, Esmeralda Small. I love you, Mommy.
And the celebration continues with our birthday shout outs. This Thursday, we celebrate our very own beloved queen, Sophie. Yes, happy birthday, girl. Sophie has been a really dear friend of mine, a prayer warrior that I can always call on, and she will pray down heaven with me. Let me tell you something. She is no nonsense, and she knows how to call on the name of the Lord. I just love Sophie. She is just, oh my gosh. Girls, ladies, people. She's like a sister to me, right? There are times I can just call and I'll be like, Sophie, you know you're on my mind. She said, you on my mind too. She's in New York, but we always connect because Sophie's my girl. Sophie, love you, girl. Happy birthday when it comes on Thursday. You know we love you here at the Beloved Queens because you're one of us. Hello, world. We're honored you came back to the Beloved Queens podcast. I'm Tina Matherson with my ladies, Claudia Lewis, everybody calls Queen Trina, and Veronica Gray. Ready, Queens?
Let's get it on, ladies.
Caribbean Queens in the ATL.
For the next few seconds, just rock with us. Rock with us. Rock with us. Next few seconds, just rock with us.
Feel the vibes, man.
This week's topic is about self care. We want to just discuss how to take care of ourselves as women and how to, in turn, take care of others, especially our spouses.
Welcome back, people. That one that never really sound right, but you know
Right.
it go.
Right.
Sometime we up and sometime we down. I just saw it go.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Yes,
humans. It's
that's
just
right.
human beings. Sometimes you give 100% to one
Mm.
person and there is nothing left for
Talk
no
up the
one
things,
else. And it's
Tina.
Self
okay.
Trust me.
care.
When we talk
Self
about self
care.
care, giving 100% up
Mm.
to. Okay, you see, when I started earlier, and it just never sound because I'm just not 100%. I am tired. I'm drained, and you give everything, and
Mm.
then you have this little insy bitsy teeny weeny, but your day isn't done.
You
You
still
still
got
have
stuff to
stuff to
do.
do, but your energy is so low. You're tired, you're exhausted. But you ever been exhausted
Yeah.
that you can't even sleep?
Psh. What you say?
Yes, because you are thinking about the
The
thousand
to-do
things that
list.
needs to
The
be
to-do
done.
list. The to-do
So,
list.
okay, so what we're really trying to get to is we have to think about self care. It's so important to rejuvenate, to
Mm.
get ourselves back. We need rest. Even God rested on the seventh day. Why we feel so we must be going on like the Energizer Bunny? Trust me, Miss Race the Energizer Bunny, the battery run out. At some point, it
Listen.
it run out. Even if it is rechargeable, you know what it has to do? Stop and recharge.
Charge. Hmm.
We have to stop. We have to at some point stop and recharge. How do you recharge? Trina, me know how you
Mm.
recharge, but tell the people them now.
Several ways. I love my vacation time. That is the best time. Let me tell you, I have 3 vacation a year that I must take, have to take. It's in the budget. There's no if, ands, and but going around it. That is family vacation, couples vacation, and a girls vacation. Very important. I didn't say my one-on-one quality time because I do that all day, every day by myself. So I didn't include that. But I love vacation because you're out of your normal routine every day, back to back, doing the same thing over and over again. Vacation, you are totally out of your everyday same old, and you are so relaxed. It's a time of bonding, new experiences, and I love food, so I'm going to put it out there. Yes, trying new cuisines, people. So you have to open up your mind and your body and soul to just wanting to have these experiences with your family, with yourself, with others, and not just always being on the go all the time. Queen Tina, how you do it, girl? Tell us how you rejuvenate.
Self neglect is the order of the day too many times, too often. Um, moms,
Mm,
they want to keep going, they want to keep others going. And to do that, you have to give your energy to a lot of
mm,
people, especially when you're in the middle of transition. It can be very, very challenging. I mean, you want to be there for everybody, but we need the spa. And I know we're in a pandemic, guys. I know we're in a pandemic. So it's kind of hard to do, but everybody's thinking we're in a pandemic. So guess what? Your little pod and you
mm,
can go to the spa. Your pod that you've been quarantining with, you can go to the spa with your pod, because when you do something like that, you get to, I'm telling you, when I go and
mm,
get a scrub, a massage, it's like everything, that all the tired things that wasn't working right fire right back up, you know, and then
mm,
it allows you to get a really peaceful, restful sleep. It really does. And so your ideas are back and you're recharged. I mean, it's just essential, I think, for our life force to fire up back again. And then we have to also remember that as women, we have our monthly situations where that weakens us all the time. You get really, really tired.
mm,
You have to, like, for me, I have to eat beet just to put back in what is coming out. So it's it's constantly just really paying attention to your feelings and your body, and just sometimes we have to listen to it. Sometimes we have to listen to our bodies. It's talking very loudly. Having massive, waking up with massive headaches, your body is
We have to listen
screaming
to our
at you
that
at
bodies.
this
is.
point,
Mm,
because you have not
yes,
listened.
it is.
So it is now screaming. I remember I used to,
It's telling you something.
I would work
Mm,
so hard and stuff, and I remember that um, I would wake up with screaming headaches. How do you go to bed and you're waking up with a screaming headache? Your body is talking. Women have the tendency of ignoring our bodies, but we have to listen to our own personal bodies. If it's breaking, you got to take a little rest.
you kept saying about it's a pandemic and people going to the spa and getting that self-care and everything. During the pandemic, during last year, my family and I went through something really hard. I lost my mother-in-law last year, and I was so busy making sure that my home was a happy home, and just taken from the distraction of basically just death, and trying to make sure everybody was okay. I did not, and I was never that spa girl. I'm the girl who sits by the beach. Give me some salt seawater, Caribbean girl to the core. I just need
Mm.
some
Mm.
sea, some um ocean, and I am good. Not a lake. I'm sorry. I am from the Caribbean. Not a lake, not a pond. I need the
Wait.
ocean.
Oh.
And
Son.
that's what brings me back to my peace and my center and nature. I realized back last year and even earlier this year that I miss going to the spa. And of course Tina and Trina would drag me to the spa, but I was never the spa, massage person, whatever. But I really missed not going. For someone who, it wasn't a priority for me, I miss not having it. From somebody not always wanting something, to when you can't have it. We have a saying in Jamaica: want it, can't get it, and get it, no
Can't
want it.
get the want
You
it.
dig that up. Child.
Yes.
So not having the
Oh.
ability to go, and I love how I felt afterwards, and I think that's what I was
Mm.
missing, and I think that's what my body was craving. That's what I needed the
Yeah.
most, was the feeling that it gives my body and the relaxation that my body um
Mm.
encounters after the procedure, whatever they do at the spa. And I we got the opportunity to go recently, and oh my gosh, I felt
Mm.
so good that now we're like, okay, this
Mm.
has to be a monthly thing and whatever. But in some cultures, it is a monthly thing. It's not a one off. It's not, oh,
Mhm.
just Mother's Day or a birthday. It's something that they religiously do every single month. Some people do it every week, some people do it every other week, but at least they're taking care of themselves. But for us, I know for our majority of Black women, we see this
Mm.
as wasting time. They can't even see
Mm.
that this is helping them to gain time, to gain quality time, to gain knowledge. Okay, so for Tina, when she was in her zen
Mm.
at the spa, there were so many creative ideas that flowed through her because our mind was at ease.
Ridiculous.
So all the things that were jumbled inside were able to come out.
Mhm.
It was
Clear.
just clear
Hmm.
because now she's
Yeah.
relaxed. When we are in our element in terms of work and parenthood and wife,
Wife.
there's
Wife.
so many
Mhm.
things coming at us. It's not that we don't have ideas, but there's just too much. They are jumbled. They can't be free to surface. Sometimes you get a little glimpse, and you get a little dream, and you put it down. But once your body is at rest and you are fully
Mm.
relaxed, it can come out. Now, ladies, we keep talking about us. Men need
Ooh.
relaxation as
Just
well.
need care.
They need care.
They
They
need
need
care.
self care. What I do at my house, I have Marlon days. He doesn't know that they're Marlon days. They can be a Saturday or a Sunday. It's just one day where it is just all about him. And I have Cameron days too, where it's just all about them. I give them a pedicure. I they For my house it's Premier League soccer, so the pedicure with the Premier League going on, they are in heaven. They get food, they
Heaven.
relax. It's a spa day for him. Whatever he wants, that's what he gets. He gets to relax. He doesn't have to do anything. One day, and it's not his birthday, ladies. Please,
And it's not Father's
please,
Day
please,
either.
please.
Mm.
Please, I beg you
Talk of a
none.
things.
It
Uh-huh.
is not his
Anniversary.
birthday and it is not Father's Day. Let it be a random day. And don't let it be a once in a lifetime day. Because birthday is once a year. You're telling me that the man cannot rejuvenate until what one one time for the year?
Ouch.
We were having this conversation earlier, and we were discussing how some men show their need in different ways. Some are talkers, some are not. But ladies, you know your mate. You know the signs. Sometimes you have to read the signs. And sometimes I know you're tired and you want to ignore them, but you see them, you know them. They're giving you the signals that they are tired. Sometimes it come out through miserable. They say, oh, they're miserable, so they're tired. Sometimes they have so much on their mind they can't think straight, and you're adding another thing on their
So
plate.
they're snappy.
And they are very
Mm.
snappy. They need a
Yeah.
break.
Yeah.
They need a break where they don't have to think about
Mm.
anything. Give them a day. Okay, for me, I was consumed in schoolwork, and it manifests itself, and it manifests itself in different ways. You can be consumed in work.
Uh-huh.
You can be consumed with your child,
Uh-huh.
and your husband is being
That's a
neglected,
That's a
big
big
one.
one.
and
That's a big
yeah,
one for
but
new
the
moms.
thing is, how can you? Yeah,
New
but
moms.
how
I
can
know
you?
I did
Oh,
it.
and
I
I'm
did it.
glad. I'm glad you said that because I learned a lot from. Again, it don't take me long for learn. Me just want hear somebody say them got through it already. When I was pregnant, you guys helped me a lot because you guys told me your stories, and I remember praying. I think I was 7 months pregnant. I remember it distinctively. And I said, Lord, I want you to help me to not neglect my husband because I know, given the opportunity, I would put everything into my child. That is a given. It's just automatic, right? But for him, it will have to be a choice. And I remember praying that and making sure that I remember that he exists because if I don't, I know he will be.
Yeah,
No, the child can consume you, because you guys have told me that it has, and then you guys have to
it
fix. No, no, no. Me learn is all right. When we got through it, me here, I will follow.
has.
Because they're here to
But
take
self
over.
care,
That's how they roll. But
the parasites that they
they
are.
they
That's
the
how they
universe
roll.
revolves around those kids once they
Okay,
come into the in the world. But
around them.
you always have to remember the A and B that it started with. And
Oh, the. Mm-hmm.
sometimes
Mm,
you don't
mm.
just drop your love for where it originated from and directed it just to the child, and then husband is just like an afterthought. That is just, he never thrives that way. He wants your attention, you know. And I'm telling you, like, when he gets, and sometimes we keep talking about doing this love language stuff just because it's very critical to study and know
Mm.
how your husband receives love. If quality time is it, and he loves to just spend time on the inside,
Mm.
um reading or watching or movie nighting, or my husband loves to edit. He's a homebody, right? He loves to just look at video and edit and do these types of things. And if there's a project, he's gonna do it. But and then there are times if he wants to fly his drone, he'll fly his drone. But my husband is not going to be like Veronica's husband in terms of how he receives love, or my husband is not going to be like Trina's husband in terms of how he receives love. So I have to know how my husband receives love, because there is no cookie cutter way to love men.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
customized
That's right.
for the
Yes,
individual that you are with,
to
you
that
know?
person. Hmm.
And so, you know, the things that when you do it, a big smile comes on your husband's face. Most women know. Some choose, since you're not giving me what I want, I'm just going to withhold. That is
Mm.
dangerous territory because
Mm.
love
Mm.
basically feeds a person, fuels a person, brings the light to shine a little bit brighter. So when you withhold that, you are dimming them out. You don't want them to be recharged and their best selves. It's okay for
Mm.
everybody else outside to take from them and then you do it too?
Mm.
Mm.
No.
Mm. Mm.
God gave us these men. God gave us these men, and the least we can do is build them, love on them, give them appreciation. The world out there vicious when it comes to black men, you know.
Mm.
Hmm.
Oh
And
yes.
anybody want to touch on that has a point of on that or story about that, it's difficult for them. We can, eh,
It's
we
very
black
difficult.
women can get frustrated and show our emotions and be called angry. But if they are called angry, somebody could be locking them up. Someone could be
Mm.
calling the cops on them. It's brutal for a black
Mm.
man. Okay, it's always been. So how are you gonna make it a little bit easier for him? How are you gonna make him feel a little bit more, oh, this is my home where I can just feel happy?
Unconditional love.
Trina,
Mm.
you have a story
Mm.
where you remember what the man is like. When I come into my house, it's just I don't know what to do because my wife's mouth just really kills me.
Mm. Mm.
Mm.
Mm. Mm.
Trina, talk up the thing.
So I met this gentleman and he just started sharing his story with me. And basically, his wife, it's been 2 years since they've been intimate with each other. And he was just saying that sometimes he's feeling like I'm desiring her, I want her, but as soon as he walked through the door, it's like just one word out of her mouth completely turns him off and he shuts down. And one of the things that he said he's committed, because I'm like, so what are you doing? I'm asking him questions like, are you being unfaithful? What are you doing? And he said, I'm not. I'm committed to the marriage, but the as far as being intimate with her, I can't get close to her because I'm turned off by her behavior, the way she talks to me, the way she treats me. And I'm like, wow. I'm listening to him like totally amazed by what he's saying. Cause I've talked to other men, they're like, oh yeah, well, I had to start an affair because shoot, she wasn't meeting my needs, so I had to go get what I wanted somewhere else. So to hear him talk of how committed he is to the marriage and his relationship, but because of her behavior, he can't feel, the intimacy that he really wants to and the connection with her because she's just turning him off with her words. Words of affirmation. Your words are powerful, ladies. We take it for granted, the things that we say to our spouse, but it's really important that the way we talk to them, the tone, what we're saying, you have to know your husband's love language and communicate to him in the way that he's able to receive that love from you.
And that can rejuvenate them.
That is self care.
Comes in
It
different
comes in
forms.
different forms. That's a form of self care. Because self care for me simply means knowing what your needs are and recognizing that. It's the same thing for your spouse, knowing what his needs are and recognizing it. Be willing to take actions to spend that time with him if that's what he needs, to tell him an encouraging word if that's what he needs, to perform a service if that's what he needs. Date nights, afternoon or day.
Yep. Doesn't have to be a night. It could be
It doesn't
date,
have to be a night.
date
Can be
breakfast,
breakfast.
date
Breakfast,
afternoon,
lunch, or dinner.
date
Desserts.
brunch.
And
Listen, get creative.
and it,
Brunch.
and it doesn't have to, as Trina would say, it doesn't have to be on a weekend
It
either. Why
doesn't
you
have to
leaving
be
the
on a
weekend?
weekend.
Especially for us who have kids. You know
Yes.
the kids take everything away from you. They take away your
Yep.
weekends. If you have active boys,
Mm,
oh my goodness. You have soccer. Well, for me, you
that's
have soccer, and that can be an entire day. I remember Trina used to be at the tracks with
what?
Christopher
All day
from
from
early in the
morning
morning.
till late afternoon. It was a
So
commitment.
your Saturdays are eaten up. Trina, you
Saturday
used
and
to go to
Sundays.
basketball games
During the
straight,
week.
some 2 hour drives.
Okay.
And they have games every day on the weekend, Saturday and Sundays. So when are you gonna squeeze in
Uh
date
oh.
night?
There
Exactly.
is
At the
no
hot dog
night.
stand?
What you having? What you having?
Mm.
There is no night. So you got to get creative, ladies. There's so many creative ways. At home, going out. The most important part is actually scheduling the time for you guys to just connect as a couple. Beloved queens, did you know that May is Date Your Mate month? I wasn't aware, but let's get started. Starting this month, we are about to date our mates. And I have some tips for you in a very easy way. We're going to do home dates. How does that sound to you, ladies? Starting with maybe a game night with a little twist. How about the winner gets a treat? And you can get as creative as you want. That could be anywhere from something in the bedroom to maybe a sweet treat or a chore, whatever floats your boat. How about cooking a meal together? Like a new recipe, something that you guys have always wanted to try. And, maybe feed it to each other. Take time to kind of enjoy quality time with the dicing and slicing, smelling the aroma of the senses, whatever floats your boat. How about a picnic in the backyard? And ladies, fresh flowers and candles sets any mood romantic. So don't forget to grab some candles and flowers. And how about a dance session? Turn on your favorite mix and just dance. Pretend you're at the club and go back to that slow dancing. If you're from the islands like I am, you might want to do a little wine, bust some wine for me. How about some karaoke where you guys can sing to each other, say some lovely words, something romantic, or if you want to get a little raunchy or whatever works for you. Well, those are a couple tips. Go to our Facebook page and we'll have some more. Check it out, ladies. Enjoy.
And the thing is, when you connect, Trina, please don't talk about the kids.
Oh my God. Oh, sorry.
Don't don't
Don't talk
Don't
about
talk.
don't
money.
Oh,
talk about money.
mm, that's true.
Don't talk about the kids.
No kids
I
are
mean,
allowed.
when someone wants to decompress, you want to talk about the kids. If it's they're the cause of your stress, you want to.
And
And
money if it's
money.
the cause of your
Oh
And
stress
no.
money, if it is the cause of your
or his
Or
stress,
his
stress.
stress.
it's just gonna add to it.
Yes. I like to ask questions. And the best way to connect with your spouse too is talk about his childhood. Ask him questions about his childhood.
Oh, I love those.
Yes. And I mean, hubby and I have been together for over 2 decades now. And I'm still like, huh? I never knew that about you. Like, there's always something new to discover. Every day's a school day. Every day, ladies.
I like that.
And you just have to want to discover it. It's just that
That's
some
true.
people are so
Mm.
caught up in their own
Mm,
stuff, mind, their own agenda.
mm,
And you can't leave it. I just feel so sad because you cannot leave your husband away out of your agenda. It
mm.
was you and him before it was the kids. It
It's
was you and
mm,
him before it was anything.
And
anything.
guess what? It's going to be you and him because the kids will leave.
Kids leave. I know I see parents sometimes get so involved in their kids, and I'm like, what's going to happen when that kids turn 18 and go off to college or go off and start living their life? What's going to happen to you? Where are you in this equation as a couple, as individual? Because sometimes I see ladies, sometimes we get lost in our kids. It's a distraction. We don't have to think about our needs. We're so focused on the kids' needs.
But when that happens, Trina, it's the rediscovery starts again. But no, this is not the person you marry, it's a new person. If there was
It is.
no self, if there was no even self discovery for you, you changing at, you're not the 20-year-old, you're not the 30-year-old.
Right.
You have to know who you are at 40. You have to know
At
who you are
40.
at 50. Who you are at 60 is
Mm-hmm.
different from who you were at 40. So
Yeah.
every decade or every 5 years, some people every year them change, I don't
Every
know, but
year.
so you have to know who you are and who the person who you're with is, because people
Mm-hmm.
evolve, people change,
As we should. Because
as
sometimes
we
people fear.
should.
Yeah. Sometimes people are like, him change. She change. You're supposed to change.
But
If you. Sorry.
are you guys keeping it together though? Are you
Mm,
notifying each other of the change?
that's that's
Yes, because
true.
you can't just change and whiplash the
Mm,
person
And
and don't tell them that
exactly.
this is
and
happening.
is your change consistent?
Mm,
Because me, like, okay, I had some really bad habits, and when I changed my habits, the only way my husband was aware of the change was if it was consistent. Now, he did not know initially that I changed. You know, when we used to talk about me keep my list for days, weeks, and whatever. When something would bother me and I've, changed and grown, I just talk about it and I'm done and I've moved on. He is not accustomed to that person. He's accustomed to the person who is going to shut down.
yeah.
So then
Talking.
when he realized that, oh, wait, she's not shutting down, she's resolved it and we moved on. This is not the same person. Okay, it happened once. All right. Maybe it's a fluke. It happened again. Wait, let's see. Happened a third time. Oh, it's become a pattern. She's not going back. But I remember one time we were in an argument and then he thought that I was going to shut down, but I was just thinking about something and he's like, oh, I said, no, 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 you can't use old fat fry me. I am not the same person.
I
I,
like the one
I
that.
am not. I'm not shutting down. I was just thinking about something totally different. I was just thinking about something else that had nothing to do with what we were discussing or what the argument was about or anything. I'm not going to shut down again. I have changed. But they have to see that change. And that change
Yes.
has to be consistent.
And
No,
he
he
didn't
never
know.
know because you have always been
He
one
didn't
way.
know.
And now
Exactly.
he
He's
is
accustomed to
accustomed to
you that
that
way.
old way. So now he has to get accustomed now to
Hmm.
the new
Yep.
way.
Gotta learn the new you.
And you had to at least communicate as well to say, no, I don't do that. That
That's
girl is
not me
not
You have
anymore.
to let
here.
them know.
I don't do
Yes.
that anymore. Yeah. Because they expect, I mean, you cannot be with somebody for 10 years malicing them and then suddenly you're not. So it's
Talk of
like,
the
they're like,
teens.
wait, what?
Like what's
That's,
going on?
I expect if Yeah.
well, who's this person?
So sometimes you have to say, I've evolved again, you know, I've evolved from that. I don't, if I have a problem, I don't just shut down because now I know to ask a question instead of
Instead of shutting down.
just think up
Yeah. And it's
instead of
just a matter
shutting
of
down.
communication.
It is. It's the simplest thing, but it's the hardest for people because you don't want to. You're thinking, I don't want to hurt this person's feelings. I don't want to say the wrong thing. You're so in your head that you're not addressing
Or
what's
you
in
don't
front of
want them
you,
to hurt your
or you
feelings.
don't want it. Yeah.
Or you're super sensitive. So,
Mm,
you know,
that's
you
true.
might see them shutting
Oh,
down on you,
exact.
but it's not necessarily you're not the problem sometimes, which is what I've discovered that sometimes they feel far away because as women we feel emotionally if our spouse is in the room or
Oh,
not,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And but sometimes they have 50,000 things in their head that when you come and get snapped at,
Hmm.
it's not really about you, ladies.
Things on there. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy to take it personal, but it's
Mm.
because his mind was far away and he was probably close to putting something together in his mind. And there you came and just kind of shook him out of
Uh-huh.
putting those puzzles together. So he's like, but it's not that you are why are you laughing over there? It's not that he's saying get away from me. It's just that he was in his head doing something. So you have to know when to take some stuff personal and when to be like, well, that right there is not about me. So let me just keep it moving and not get upset about the snap.
Yeah, that's true. Because we always feel that it's about you. No, the world don't revolve around you. It's not always about you.
Oh, wait. Listen, listen. My favorite question to ask is, what are you thinking? And I don't like the answer. Nothing. I'm like, no, you must have think something.
She know why you don't believe the man.
That's why I was laughing. Because I'm like, why? I say you must have think something. No, man, you look like you in deep. And I'm going on like you mustn't. You're in a deep thought. No, man, something. It's like I'm not. And then you're like, I'm really not thinking anything right now. I'll let you know if I do. Like,
I don't know why women always ask them what they're thinking.
I have
why
learned
we
to
do
not
that?
ask that question because I do not like the answer.
Answer. Me not like it, but me always ask. Why? Why?
Let it
Let it
go.
go.
Let it
Let it
go.
go. I am learning to let it go. The
Some of
things.
it is sometimes they're there percolating and thinking on things. And a good question could be, is there anything I can help with? Because right there, the 5 or 6 or 7 things that he thinks he has to do, you are now offering a hand. You know what I discovered over the weekend? Okay, so my son Jonathan, and it's so funny that this is happening right here. So my son, we got this net, and it's a little bit more complicated than his old volleyball net. So old volleyball net easy. He could put it up by himself, and he's very like hands on, like his dad. So he does it, and he doesn't need help. Very little independent little soul. So now the new volleyball net comes, and you need assistance to put it up because it's not built for one person to do it. So he tries to put it up in the backyard, and he's not successful because it is for multiple people. It's for a team, not one person. And Jonathan is fighting with the net and not asking for help. So I cannot help him because I'm not very technical like that, but daddy can help him, right? Timmy is not very technical. He's more creative like mama. So Timmy can't help John John. So both of them back there frustrated. And I see John John marching frustrated back and forth. I said, why are you why won't you ask for help? And he said, I don't know. I should be able to figure it out by myself. I said, why don't you ask daddy for help? Because I know I can do it by myself. I said, what if there it needs a team to do it and you're the one out there struggling? Wouldn't you like to have help? I'm supposed to be able to do it by myself. And I saw the little kid just going back and forth, frustrated, not
Mm.
asking for help. And I realized
Mm.
that that's how some men are too. They feel like it's okay to balance 5, 15, 20 things by themselves until it's not possible to do. And that's from a baby. So I've
Mm.
learned, I said, I know you're thinking about a couple of things, not one. I can help with one, I promise. Give me something to do
Mm.
so that you are not so stressed. Give me one.
Listen. Mm.
And then they start thinking, okay, if I give her this, then now the 4 is manageable, but 5 was too much. You see what I'm saying? So it's not about what you're thinking, because if they ask us what we're thinking, we will have a mouthful, I promise. But sometimes it's just making yourself available or saying,
Little.
so and so could
Wow.
help, or and sometimes they may not want so and so's help, but it's to throw those different options in there so they
Mm.
don't think it's all about
From
them carrying
men.
everything by themselves kind of thing.
Nope.
So it was just interesting to see that from a little boy's perspective, that
By
he
themselves.
just feels like I'm supposed to be able to do it by myself, so I should not be asking for help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but those little boys become big men
Yeah.
and they never outgrow that
Mm-hmm.
stage and they still feel that they should do everything by themselves.
What?
They should be able to figure it out all by themselves.
Again.
It was very interesting.
I did it
I did it
before.
before. Why is this one so difficult?
Hello.
Not that this is
Hello.
not bigger and much more complicated and need
Hello.
more
Hello.
than
Hello.
one.
No.
No, 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 no.
Mm-mm-mm.
I did this before. I
Yeah.
can do it again.
Wow.
It was so interesting.
We have many little John Johns now that are very big John Johns.
We have to care for them. We have to care for them. All right. So in Jamaica, um, everybody know about soursop tea leaf, right? So it's soursop
Mm.
tea leaf. What's soursop tea leaf
Mm.
do? It good for
Nerves, it good for
nerves.
Mm.
Makes you
nerves.
really calm, right? Sometimes the men will not necessarily go to the spa, but they'll drink some soursop tea leaf. So if you know your husband has a really stressful job, it would be good to keep him calm that way. Give him some when he comes home at night, because they face a lot of pressure and you need them. You just want to help them to keep their emotions calm, keep them not so flustered. If your home can just provide that for them, or a little tea sometimes, just just get up and prepare it for them. It might make the day a little bit smoother. They might just go through their day as calm as possible, regardless of all the tornadoes that are swirling around them. You know what I mean? So little things, just little things to show you care. Little things to show you care. Men don't necessarily, we need love, 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 love. Men need respect
Mm.
and care.
And ladies, before on a start talk about that him necessarily me over here saw pop down. Trust and believe.
Hello.
When you show love, you will receive love. Love is
Half
something
of the
that when you
things.
give it away, it will come right back to you.
Mm-hmm.
That is a true statement.
100 them.
It's not even a if or a maybe. If you show love, you will receive love. And if it don't happen the next day or the following day, you're not supposed to be doing it for a reflex action right afterwards. You should just do it and don't want anything in return. But it will come.
You have to respond to love, because God is love. People have to respond to love.
Mm.
That's just how it is. If you give the person, and not just love because you're looking for something like what Veronica said, to get back.
Mm-mm. Unconditional. Yeah, because we put conditions on what we want,
Yeah.
and that's not God's love.
So that's your
Mm.
one little man, your one little husband, your one little person.
Wow.
Everybody out
Mm.
there searching for a person. People are so lonely. Pandemic, they've been in apartments locked up by themselves. I know people who moved from New York just to come down to Georgia to be around family so that they
Right.
would not be locked up in their apartment by themselves. And you have a person, you have someone, you found someone. Where people are searching to find a mate, and it's very
Yeah.
difficult. Dating app, this and that. Oh God, I'm glad I don't have to be dating now.
I seriously don't know what I would do. I don't know if I
I
could
don't know what I
date
would
in
do
today's
either.
society.
That's
That's
a
a whole nother
whole.
thing.
Mm. Hallelujah.
And you have this person, don't
Mm.
disregard them.
Mm.
They're made in the image of God. Don't disregard them. Don't treat them like the same way they get treated at work.
Mm. Whoa.
Hmm.
That's a different topic. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Don't
Mm-mm.
treat them like society. Don't treat them. It's hard in American society for a black man, so you have to not make it hard when he comes into your house. They live afraid.
Constantly.
Imagine being afraid to come into your own home.
Where you're supposed to
Mm.
be at peace. And there is no peace in there. No, I heard a story where the man said, oh my gosh, people have different jobs, and this guy was an entertainer, and when he would come home, he would even say to his wife that the dates got extended for the shows so that he doesn't have to come home. So he would spend like an extra night or two away before he would return. You have some people drive and go into the driveway and who sit in the car and have to mentally to prepare themselves before they walk into the house. What kind of toxic environment is that? Remember, you're dealing with toxic environment outside of the home and you don't want to go inside. So you're saying, even though outside
Mm.
is toxic, it is much
To be out.
better
Woo.
outside than to go inside.
Oh, I remember the Uber driver.
Trina,
Uh-oh.
yes.
Yes.
Here's this
Let me tell.
story now, y'all.
Woo. Let me tell you. It honestly, it might have been a 15-minute drive. I wish it was 2 hours because that Uber driver dropped some gems within that 15 minutes. My daughter was in the car with us, and it was the most interesting 15 minutes and very honest conversation I've had with a man. He was sharing how he wasn't in love with his wife. He felt he had to marry her because she got pregnant, and his parents were like, "You got to do the right thing." So he married her, and he said, "Okay, well, I'm in this situation. I'm going to try to make it work." Right? Here he is trying to make it work. And then he was like, he was so miserable. He tried to fall in love with her, but she was just constantly miserable. They just kept on bumping heads. He started having affairs. He did everything under the sun according to him. He said he stopped, he tried to be faithful, he tried to focus on the marriage. It was just hilly. So I said, "What are you doing now?" He said, "Now I Uber drive 24/7." And
Jesus.
I'm like, he said, "I don't want to go home. I
Mm,
do not want to go home." And
mm,
I'm like, "You rather be out here driving around all day, all night to avoid going home. And I couldn't understand it. I'm like, what are you, like, but he was so honest about his feelings, about how just being in the house with her, how she would treat him. They have kids together, how she would talk to the kids. Like, we don't understand as women that sometimes these men are watching us how we speak to our children and saying, oh, well, even with her own kids, she talking to them like that.
So her unhappiness is spreading.
Like
Not
wildfire.
encouraging. It's spreading through the whole
Mm.
house. No royal jelly in that home.
That bun up.
This is
Why?
This is a
I
royal
said
jelly
mud
that
up.
is so. Oh God.
No unity. Yeah, it mud up. You're right. Total
Wow.
chaos.
So
You know,
he drives 24
he
hours.
drives 24 hours a day just so he doesn't have to go home. He
So he just basically goes
sleep,
home,
gets up, and
sleeps,
keep.
gets up,
Yeah,
and get back on the road.
that's why I said I wish the car ride was 2 hours. 'Cause I never got the opportunity to say. So, what do you plan to do this for the rest of your life? What decisions are, like, how could you live like this for the rest of your life? You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Like there has to
right.
be a point where you're going to have
Something
to
has to
say,
give.
I give
Something
up,
has to give.
or something has to change.
And work, for a lot of men, is a
Hide out.
place where they hide out. Like what he did, he's basically saying, I'm working, working, working. But it's not even about
No,
provision at this point.
that's his safe
That's his
space.
safe space.
Whoa.
Jeez. So, ladies, when you are no longer your
Mm,
spouse's safe space, that's like you cannot
mm.
afford for that to happen. You just cannot.
Because if you're not their safe space, they're going to find one or create one. It's either going to be whatever comforts them.
Never let
Some
another
people is
woman.
substance.
Exactly.
Some people is another
Some people
person.
is porn.
Some people is it's hobbies. They just throw themselves into whatever brings them
Joy.
joy, and then that takes up all of their
Some people
time
is
and
work.
energy.
Like the guy,
Work.
like the
Hmm.
Uber guy.
Yeah,
He's like, at least it's
Yeah.
two.
yeah,
I'm killing two birds with one stone because at least I'm earning more money and I get to be safe from
Hmm.
attacks.
Cause that's what it is. He feels
yeah.
attacked.
You made a commitment to love and to cherish someone, and you spend your entire life attacking them. This stops today, ladies. It stops. You cannot attack the image of God in your house that is a man. Ish in Jewish is the male word for man. Isha is woman. You put them together, it's spelled God. You cannot attack the image of God in your house. Please, ladies, you have a lot of love to give. Just flip the script. Yes, he never do what he was supposed to do. Yes, he didn't do this. Yes, the plans never worked the way he wanted to. Yes, all of these things, the dreams, the goals, they failed. It didn't work out the way he promised. Grace. He can build again. He can try a new dream. What you cannot have is another, put your husband's name in the sentence. There is no more Ruddy Matherson. There is no more Marlon Gray. There is no more Mikey Lewis. There's no more. You got this one gem. Do not mistreat him one more day. Because you have the power to build him up and let him soar and let him fly and let him be the very best that God wants him to be. You have that power. God wouldn't put him in your life to destroy him. That's not God's plan. So the good thing is, when you get to a point where you're butting heads, we got a ever-present help in the time of trouble called the Holy Spirit. So for those women right now, Holy Spirit, who they just got blood in their eyes for this man, for whatever reason. Lord, bring a spirit of forgiveness right now, Holy Spirit. Change the blood in the eye to love in the eye. We transmute that right now in Jesus' name. Better together. Better together.
This is Queen Trina from the Beloved Queens Podcast. If you want to help support our podcast, go to www.thebelovedqueens.com and click the heart in the top right corner.
Until next time, add us to your calendar every Monday. Subscribe, like, leave a comment, and tell everybody, I mean everybody, about our podcast. And don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms at The Beloved Queen.